Hello students, again I am here with Civics chapter 2, that is diversity and discrimination. In chapter 1 of class 6 we read about diversity. In that chapter students we read that India is the land, means our country, it is full of diversities. There are main 8 religions which practice all over the world, and you will feel proud that each and every of these 8 religions is exist in India also. Now second thing, more than 1600 languages which are the mother tongue of the people, these are exist in India. And one more thing, more than 100 dance forms are practiced by the people of India. Now students, there is a saying in Haryanvi, that is कोस कोस पे बदले पानी और चार कोस पे बाणी. Students, here this word कोस, it indicates it is a measuring unit, distance measuring unit. So it is a saying in Haryanvi that ki on after each and every mile the taste of the water changes, and after 4 miles the language changes. It shows the diversity of India. This diversity gives taste to our life. This diversity adds colors to our society. But yes, I know you will ask that, ma'am, now ab ye but kahan se aaya? So with this but, I am going to start the second part of our title, that is this diversity about which we were talking about is not always celebrated. Means just I want to say that sometimes we feel very happy when we see there are different types of festivals. We feel very happy when we see in front of us variety of food, like sometimes we enjoy idli sambar, sometimes we enjoy Punjabi paratha, sometimes we eat dhokla from Gujarat. At that time we are very happy. But the reality is that when we come in contact with the strangers who are not like us, whose religion is not like us, whose language is different from us, at that time we feel uncomfortable. The thing which I want to tell you students, we feel comfortable with the people who are like us. Means you observed in your class also sometimes कि the people who are totally different from you, their language, their color, or maybe their religion, they are teased, they are laughed at, and sometimes they are excluded from all the activities. This exclusion is known as discrimination. Now let's see the first topic according to your textbook, that is differences and prejudice. Differences we have already discussed, that there are a lot of differences in our country, but what about this new word? This is prejudice. So before explaining this word, let's do an activity which is given in your book. Now let's look at this activity which is given in your book. Few statements are given about rural people and few statements are given about urban people. So students, let's start with the first one. More than 50% of all Indians live in villages. You just tick yes or no according to your opinion. Write it somewhere on a piece of paper. Okay, I repeat, more than 50% of all Indians live in villages. Now come to second statement. Villagers do not care about their health. They are full of superstition. Just tick in your notebook whether it is right or wrong according to you. The third one is, people in villages are backward and do not like to use modern agricultural technology. Fourth statement is, in peak harvesting and plantation season, families spend 12 to 14 hours working in the fields. Now the last statement about villagers. Villagers are forced to migrate to cities in search of work. Now these 5 statements are given about urban people. Let's have a look at this. The first one. Life in the city is easy and people here are spoiled and lazy. Second one is, in cities, families spend very little time with each other. Third one, people in cities only care about money, not about people. Fourth one is, living in a city is expensive. A large part of people's earning is spent on rent and transport. And the last one, city people cannot be trusted. They are cunning and corrupt. So students, I hope you have written somewhere whether these statements are right and wrong according to you. Now the thing which I want to tell you is that whether the city people or the rural people, whatever the opinion about them, it is your personal opinion. Few of these statements tell us that villagers are ignorant, dirty and superstitious. Whatever the statements you saw, few of those statements tell that the city people are cunning, money-minded and lazy. But students, it is not so. But this is the prejudice. Means when we start thinking about people negatively, that is called prejudice. One more thing about prejudice is that, take another example. If someone will say that English is the best language and other languages are inferior, so it is prejudice, then what will happen? That person will start thinking about the people who are not able to speak English, they will not respect them. This is prejudice. Now take another example. Sometimes we have prejudice about the people on the behalf of their religion, their color, the language they speak. Means when we start the people thinking negatively, that is called prejudice. I hope you understand. Let me tell you one thing. In simple words, if you think कि the way I am working, the way I am thinking is right, it's okay. There is no harm in this statement. But if you start thinking the way I am working is the only best way, that is prejudice. Means कि मैं जिस काम को करता हूँ या जिस रिलीजन को मैं फॉलो करता हूँ या करती हूँ और जो लैंग्वेज मैं बोलता हूँ, only that is right. So it is prejudice. In that case, you will not respect the others. So let's write down the definition of the prejudice. So students, prejudice means to judge other people negatively or see them as inferior. So today we have discussed about diversity, the word discrimination, differences and prejudice. That's it for today. Tomorrow we will proceed with, in next part we will proceed with the remaining part of this chapter. Thank you. Have a nice